G'day and welcome back to Pen Reviews by the Eccentric Electrician. Today I'll be reviewing a lot cheaper pen, a very common pen for people first entering into fountain pens and wanting something a little more robust that can be used. It's the Pilot Metropolitan. Most of you have probably seen this pen before. It's a fairly cheap pen, quite good quality. Most people buy one of these at some point or when they first get into them. So on the end it's just a round cap on both ends. You've got a metal clip which functions quite well. It's not spring loaded or anything, it just bends from the middle. Works quite well at its job. It's just a shiny silver finish, and you've got Pilot and Japan written on the tops here, the other side. It's a pull cap, so you just snap it off. You have a shiny sort of plastic section grip here, I should say. Goes up to a bit of a metal clip, which is where the cap clips on. You then have another shiny bit of plastic here, and then it goes to your metal barrel. It takes a standard Pilot cartridges or converter. Currently I have the squeeze converter in it, just because it's easier to use. For testing and writing and for a review, I don't have to break open an entire cartridge. These are quite nice pens. They're good for the price. They're fairly cheap. They use a steel nib. This is the medium Pilot steel nib, and the something quite unusual about these I found is the feed is semi-translucent, so when you hold it up to the sun you can actually see through it a little bit. I think that's quite neat. They post quite well, quite securely. They become a fairly decent sized pen for that. I found when I write with it, because I hold my pens further up the barrel, I do tend to grip onto this big step down section, which is where the cap clips on, which I do find a little bit annoying, but I found that I can sort of adjust my grip so that it's in the middle between my fingers and thumb. Makes it a little bit easier to grip. So if you hold your pen further up the barrel, that may become a bit annoying for you, which it does for me. But aside from that, it's quite a good pen, and if you hold down near the base where most people do, I think you'll be fine and you won't really notice it at all. Not too bad. It's a bit of a small pen, but can't really complain about that. It's, for the price that you're getting it for, they're well worth the buy. They're a very classic looking look. And they function very well. You can get them I think you can get them in different colours and obviously with different variety of nibs. The nibs are fairly basic design, there's not much to it. Just says Pilot M Japan, obviously steel nib. The matte black finish I quite like. It's, like I said, it's a very classic businessy sort of look. It's a sort of pen you can put in a top pocket, take to work, and no one will really question it, that it's a decent business pen. On the same side, being metal and a sort of hardish sort of plastic, they're quite robust and they take a fair bit of a hit before they break. Can't really fault the pen in any way. I'm just not a big fan of this step down, which I tend to grip onto that section there, which is quite annoying. Aside from that, definitely a good buy for the price. You can't really go wrong with it. Pilot Toys is a good brand to buy. I have quite a few Pilots and I like all the pens that I've got. But yeah, so let's go for some dimensions. Capped, it's 138 millimeters. Uncapped, it's 126. Posted, it becomes quite a large pen at 153 millimeters, but that's pretty much right on where I like it. The barrel at the smallest section down here before it flares out is 8.5 millimeters. Then the thickest part of the barrel, which is up here, is 13 millimeters. Sorry. The weight with the cap is 26.5 grams, and the weight without the cap is only 17 grams. So it's a little bit heavier than some of the other cheaper pens, which you may like if you prefer a slightly heavier pen. The weight of this pen I think is quite good for writing with. It's not too heavy, not too light, especially when I have it posted. I reckon it's pretty good. But each to their own, and it depends how you hold the pen. I found because I hold it further back with the cap on, it's quite balanced well down, so it presses on the paper itself. Whereas if I don't, it becomes a little bit top light, I would say. But it depends where you hold it. If you hold it further down the pen like that, it'd probably be quite good for you. So that's the Pilot Metropolitan. Fairly good beginner pen, cheap to buy, easy to use, and you can't really go wrong with it, unless obviously you hold higher up the barrel where the step down is. That might become annoying. That's the only gripe I've got with this pen, so we'll do a writing sample and I'll show you what it can do. Alright, this is the writing sample for the Pilot Metropolitan. Just get a bit of a close up on the nib there. So this is a medium. I'm going to use it unposted. Doesn't need to be posted to write. So this is the Pilot Metropolitan. M nib. This ink is Pelican 4001 brown. This ink works quite well in this pen, bit of quick writing. Or a bit of writing sample, I should say. This is a fairly wet pen. I haven't had any feed issues with it. It's been quite a nice pen to write with. I'll try and do a bit quicker. I'll just show a bit of... There you go. No skipping at all. And quite wet as well. It's for line variation. You know, there isn't really any to be had. Maybe the fractionist amount, but nothing to really go on about. Yeah, it's quite a nice pen, writes quite smoothly. I haven't had to modify this one at all in getting it, so it's definitely another pen I recommend. Like I said, the only thing I don't like is, let's get it in focus, is this little step down here. I find that quite annoying. But yeah, if that's alright with you, then I definitely recommend trying this pen. It's a good little buy for the price, and writes great. So it's quite a fine writer. This medium would be close to a fine in, say, Pelican or other brands, which you normally get with the Japanese nib. So I hope that's helped, and helps you decide whether you want a pen or not. Alright, thanks for watching.